hope you never have to put that theory to the test.
God. Anyway, I don't even know if you're gonna put any of that.
Probably not.
But welcome back to Talking Pictures with Tawana and Max. I'm Tawana.
I'm Max.
I don't know where this episode starts. It probably starts now.
Just
Max,
like 15 seconds ago, yeah.
Max probably cut out a good 15 minutes of
We've
conversation.
been recording for 19 now, so
19 minutes he might have cut out. I don't know. I'll listen to the final product. God. This week, it's your pick.
last week it was steel, and this week it's real steel.
Because this is the realest steel. It's realer.
Well, you have steel, but what if it's not real?
Yeah, this is real one.
This is real steel.
This is real one, which is ironic because in steel they actually used steel to make steel suit. And in this steel, it's just fucking robots.
Well, I mean, robots are made out of steel sometimes. And actually, interestingly, this movie is adapted from a sci-fi short story written in 1956 that was called Steel.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Well, right off the bat, I love this film.
Yeah?
I love this film.
Nice. We're back on track, folks. Is the war over?
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah. And I realized, so I knew a bit about the film.
Yeah.
Obviously from like, I've seen clips and stuff like that, like from the fights and stuff. And I knew it was about fighting robots. Mm-hmm. That's the base level I knew about it.
Rock'em Sock'em Robots the movie. Who doesn't want to see that?
But when the film opened to country music, I was like, well, hold up. Wait a minute.
Does this have substance?
Yeah.
Is there heart put into this movie?
Like, did people actually take time to think this through?
Right?
And it got me, man.
Yeah.
It got me. I don't even... It's too long to go through the story beats. Some beats we might hit. I just want to talk. I want to get straight into it. The father-son story arc.
Yeah.
That got me, man.
It works.
I cried. No, I didn't cry. I teared up.
Mm-hmm.
I teared up at the end.
Sure.
I teared up at the end. You just... Sean Levy, did he direct this?
Yes. I wanted to talk about Sean Levy. Sean Levy, who in recent years did Free Guy, The Atom Project, Deadpool and Wolverine. He's sort of Ryan Reynolds' right-hand man at this point, Deadpool and Wolverine.
He's a producer on Stranger Things.
Yep. He's a very talented filmmaker. I think he excels at delivering the most sort of middle-of-the-road movie possible. It is
Yes.
in the exact sweet spot of this movie is entertaining.
Yes.
There's nothing about it that's going to piss you off or make you mad. It's not the deepest thing in the world, but I've enjoyed every movie of his that I've seen.
Now, besides Deadpool and Wolverine,
Yeah.
which was a complete cash grab.
It's not a real movie, but I had a good time watching it.
See, I saw it after it came out.
Yeah.
So I knew about the cameos. So when I got to see it, the cameos didn't mean anything to me. And I just saw it and I was like, oh, it's a bunch of cameos. The story really isn't there. It was nice seeing Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
And
The story
when
is
they
all...
were doing the press tour, sorry to cut you off.
Sure.
When they were doing the press tour, I remember they did an interview with Hugh Jackman and Ryan
Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
See, I was forgetting there's so many Ryans, just the two, and Sean Levy, and they were talking, and I think at a certain point, Hugh Jackman said they'd been friends for so long, and I've seen a few of Hugh Jackman's films, not all of them, and I just wondered, wait a minute, have they worked together? Why? I've not seen Sean Levy and Hugh Jackman work together.
Yeah.
And then obviously Real Steel, 2011, they worked together. And you've got Sean Levy in this. Hugh Jackman end up working on Deadpool and Wolverine.
Together, yeah.
Kevin Durant is in this.
Kevin fucking Durant. I love Kevin Durant
who's
so
in
much.
X-Men Origins.
he shows up in the weirdest places. He's
As the
always
Blob.
great. Yeah. Why is he the Blob? He's. I fucking love Kevin Durant.
And I was watching him. There's the scene just before the climax.
Yeah, with Anthony Mackie.
With Anthony Mackie when he shows up. And he said,
$100,000 that Adam's not standing by the second round.
how does he introduce? He calls him homeboy.
He ends up leaving by being like, all right, we got a deal, homeboy. Woo! And he sort of shoots glances at Anthony Mackie's guys. And Anthony Mackie just looks at him like, dude.
You've played racist before.
I have, yeah.
Is it fun playing racist? Because it looks fun. It looks fun. He's having fun.
It's fun in the way that playing a villain is always fun. The racism itself.
Forget the racist. Okay, maybe I positioned that.
No, but I get what you. But you've got things like, you hear the stories of Leo DiCaprio making Django, like apologizing between takes because he had to be so fucking horrible.
Do you think that's true? Oh man,
Do I think that Leo really cared?
Because what if right? Conspiracy theory. What if they sold the cut and they're like,
He's too good.
he's too good at
People
saying
are
that
gonna-
N-word.
people
We
are gonna
need to
suspect
clean up
something.
Leo's image in
We need
this.
to get ahead of this.
Let's just come up with the story. Let's have Jamie Foxx say something like he was having a tough day or something
Yeah.
because it rolls off so nice and easy, so nice and easy. Now, granted, he's a great actor. I know that,
Sure.
but just I don't know.
I think to do it right, to do it in a way that you're not focusing on the fact that you have to play a horrible person, you just have to love the villainy of it. So it's not even about specifically you're playing the racist parts of it. You're just playing the things that you know will piss the other characters off.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
Kevin-
I've played villains.
Yeah.
A few times, and I find that you sort of have to you have to love them. You cannot approach it as this is a villain. You have to look at them, the full backstory, and actually give them weight, and actually go, oh, there's a person. They have their own reasons for acting the way they do.
Yeah.
I'm going to accept that and put it in. And I've found from that experience that you sort of actually grow to love the character because
Sure.
you start to see the broken parts of it because hurt people.
Yeah.
But going back to Sean Levy, the thing you said about he makes projects that don't piss you off and they manage to hit the points. There's a few cliches in the story.
Absolutely.
A few cliches.
Oh, yeah.
And I even wrote some of them down. But even then, when he got me to tear up towards the end, I was like, God damn, that's a hard thing to do. That's a hard thing to do. I've cried at The Notebook.
Huh.
I've cried at Titanic when Celine Dion kicks in.
Yeah.
Pursuit of Happiness.
Uh-huh.
I cannot think of anything else right now.
Nothing else that's made you cry?
Oh, The Time Traveler's Wife.
Sure. That's a good one.
The Time Traveler's Wife. That's a sad one. And there's a new film, the Colin Farrell, Margot Robbie film coming out, The Big Beautiful
Oh, yeah.
Journey or something like that.
Yeah.
It looks like it's gonna. It looks like it's a rom-com, but it
It's-
looks like it's gonna end.
It's a wrong. Spoilers for this. I don't know what's happening in it. I've seen the trailer. I get the impression that the whole thing is a fantasy and they're in the car crash the whole time and they're just dying.
Yeah.
That feels like it's what it is to me. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be really pulling the heartstrings.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
Pushing all those buttons.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna. Listen, the
Yeah.
rom-coms are back, and I'm ready for it. I want to cry.
Yeah.
I want to. I'm gonna go and watch The Materialist, and I'm rooting for Chris Evans. He's my favorite Chris
Uh-huh.
out of all of them.
Yeah, he's probably
There's
the
about
best one.
7 of them,
There's a lot of Chris's.
like Ryan's.
Like Ryan's.
But Real Steel.
Real Steel.
So, Why did you pick this? Because only because steel?
Because for the goof, yeah. Steel, real steel.
Okay.
It was pure, in the moment, stream of consciousness. I was just jazzing it.
See, as I was watching this, I started thinking about. It started because I watched in two different chunks.
Sure.
And I was thinking about Hugh Jackman. I love Hugh Jackman. I've enjoyed him in everything he's done.
Yeah.
And it opens with him at a fun fair. He's in his truck and he wakes up and he grabs a bottle of beer and drinks it. Mm-hmm. Clearly indicating he's a low-life alcohol. He owes people money.
He gets a phone call from someone saying, like, where's my money, man? And he says, Jack, I'll get you your money. And he's like, I'm not fucking Jack. I'm Bill. You owe Jack money too?
The comedy bits he hits.
Yeah.
And he hits them in such a way where he's not playing the comedy.
No, because...
He's playing the situation.
Yeah, because it's the situation that's funny. You can't... different styles of comedy, sometimes you don't play the joke.
But as I was watching, it was when it got towards... just to build Hugh Jackman's character. Hugh Jackman is a low-life character. He's a guy who does these underground boxing fights with his robot, and his robot always gets beat, so he always has to find money to buy a new robot, and he always loses, so the cycle continues.
Yeah.
Then it turns out that his ex-girlfriend died.
Yeah, he tries to bet money that his robot can beat a bull in a rodeo, which is definitely animal cruelty, violence. Like,
No, the animal wins. It's not animal cruelty. It's
I know,
robot cruelty.
but the robot punches the bull in the face.
The bull can take it.
Clearly, it can, but still,
It's such an American thing as
This
well.
movie takes place in a future that I feel like is sliding into an apocalypse slowly. Like, it's about 5 steps away from Mad Max, this world.
See,
You know?
I felt it came out in 2011,
Yeah.
and how much did it make? Okay, so it made 300 million on a 110 million budget.
Pretty damn good back then.
Okay. I think this film, if it comes out around this time,
Yeah.
gangbusters. Even
Probably.
more.
I think they need to do a sequel.
I was thinking that.
The kid's all grown up now.
Yeah, I think the real kid is 25, which, by the way,
Yeah.
my favorite kid.
He's a good actor, this kid.
My favorite kid. Out of all the kids I've seen in all my life, he's my favorite kid. Dakota Goyo.
Dakota Goyo.
Canadian. Oh, he doesn't act anymore.
No.
Oh.
He was in Noah. It's the last thing he was in, apparently, as young Noah.
I don't remember young Noah.
Young Russell Crowe. It's at the beginning.
Yeah.
At the beginning when the movie is, like, really... Like, what the fuck are we watching?
Oh, when
it's
he receives
the snakeskin thing, and
Yeah.
his dad is and him.
that
being-
he raps.
Yeah, they're being chased by the warriors, and it's really like what I remember watching that, and we were like, all right, Noah, we've seen Mother, we know that Aronofsky likes his Bible stuff.
Kevin Durant is in that as well.
He is.
Yeah, he plays what were they called? Those angels.
Yeah, one
Yeah.
of
One of the angels.
the wild.
What were we? The kid.
The kid, yeah, he's a good child actor. So you just before you said that he's your favorite kid that you've ever seen
Yes.
in movies or regardless?
In movies.
Okay.
In movies. I don't know what the kids like in real life. Mm-hmm. But I was watching him and I was like, if I had a son, I wish he would be like that.
Oh, the character, the kid.
Yeah.
Your favorite kid character in movies.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know the kid. I don't.
No, but I mean, like as a child actor, he's quite.
No, he is pretty good.
Yeah.
And the fact that I'm saying his character as a kid, that's what I would want my son to be like.
Okay.
Is a testament to his performance. But it goes back to the script, which I said it's got a bunch of cliches, which it does.
Yeah.
But it's a pretty tight script.
It's a tight... The thing about Sean Levy's movies, and I didn't even realize this, but apparently he also directed Night at the Museum, which I fucking loved as a kid, which is a really, really fun movie. A lot of these movies are sort of about fatherhood, things like that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure The Adam Project's also about that. Recurring theme of his, interesting. His movies, they are... Yes, they rely a little bit on cliche. They don't make massive emotional swings that you would never expect. It's a pretty standard story of, for instance, father struggles with his relationship with his son and his life, and by the end of the movie, it's mostly fixed. And
Yeah.
he's in a better place.
Which you've seen many times.
Many, many times. And a lot of the steps that you take to get there, you have seen many times. But it's the character and it's the heart that he puts in all those spaces in between.
Yeah.
It's like Hugh Jackman and Evangeline Lilly's relationship in this movie is not really focused on a whole lot, but it's so very deep, clearly. And I think it's because of the actors, because Sean Levy really knows how to work with actors. It just, you can tell the history between them.
There's something about the father aspect, because the two girls who show up at the beginning,
Yeah,
they're his daughters.
Hugh Jackman, or Sean Levy's daughters?
Yeah.
Oh, fun.
They're his daughters.
I thought those kids were fun in the movie. Clearly, Sean Levy knows how to work with child actors. And this,
I mean, Adam Project has a child actor.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Night at the Museum. I've said this before. I think the only person to blame for a bad child actor performance is the director, because kids. I mean, maybe there's some kids that really can't act for shit, but they're kids. They live in a world of imagination. If you can tap into that,
Listen,
you can get whatever
kids
you need.
these days seem to have no imagination at all.
I don't know. I haven't seen many child performances in movies these days, but
I'm just letting you know. You know, I was watching, I'm forgetting what the actor's called. I was reading an interview with this actor, and it was in Variety or Deadline or something like that. And he said something like, "Oh, the director got me in a room for an hour without my phone,
yeah.
and I did better coming out."
Yeah.
And I was like, duh.
No shit, kid.
But he's 17. He's 17. He probably spends his time just fucking scrolling on TikTok or anything, which I'm fearful about the future of just the craft and the type of work people get out. I think for the most part, you are going to see sort of, this sounds bad, but brain dead performances where I feel like you don't have people anymore. You've got algorithms just walking around. Everyone's just a sort of algorithm of whatever's on their fucking phone. Whether it's the manosphere, and you see the type of guy and the things he talks about, the things he spews are just the same shit you probably see on the fucking internet.
Yeah.
Or the girl who fucking watches the girls on TikTok, and it's the same shit, green flags, red flags, and it's like, okay, yeah, where's you? Where are you?
Yeah.
Instead of this fucking filter that I'm talking to. I'm talking to a fucking algorithm. I'm not talking to a person anymore.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm fearful for. I'm fearful that a lot more people, especially, I think we have the luxury, and we've said this before, of knowing a world that didn't have the devices. Whereas when you've got a bunch of people who the devices is all they know, what are those type of people like? That's what scares me.
I worry about society as a whole. Are you worried like about acting, about the craft?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah?
Definitely. I am. I am. Because there's a level of focus, concentration that's required that devices destroy.
Sure.
And if you don't cultivate that muscle, I feel like young actors will never get the chance to actually do the best work they can.
I think the ones that are going to succeed as actors will be the ones who are inclined to not be so attached to their phones in the first place.
Yes.
So-
But then, what is that percentage?
I mean, it may be smaller, but that just means that there's less competition for the good people.
It's well, it's. I guess if you I get scared for like and you sort of saw with Millie Bobby Brown a couple of months ago when she came out and she was complaining about how she was being treated and now that she's older, and I worry about that because you've already got the example of Marilyn Monroe who couldn't handle the fame. So what happens in this day and age where you're suddenly just bombarded with all that shit? And I feel like there's always like the new hit girl. You had Megan Fox. Then after Megan Fox, it was Margot Robbie. We haven't had the new hit girl yet.
Sydney
Maybe.
Sweeney.
Yes.
Sydney
Sweeney.
But she's a real actor.
yes.
She like, you can tell she puts work into it.
Yes.
She knows what she's doing.
Yes.
She knows what she's talking about.
And she's smart. Not just in terms of her work, but like business savvy,
yeah.
which is really impressive. Whoever's around her whole team is clearly looking. I think that's what it gets down to, is the team looking after them. But we're diverting away from fucking Real Steel.
Real Steel. This movie about robot boxing
Robot
does not
boxing.
need to be this deep of a conversation.
Yes.
We were talking about how the cliches and things. There's part of the heart of this movie is that it also doesn't just do the easiest thing at all times. I wrote down, and I was really, really happy when this happened. At the beginning, Hugh Jackman finds out his ex-girlfriend died. He needs to go to the courts to deal with the custody arrangements for his son. He doesn't want to raise his son. He wants to travel around being an alcoholic robot boxer. But he needs a bunch of money, and he clocks on to the fact that this kid's aunt and her husband are fucking loaded. And so he's like, okay, I'm gonna work a deal out. The guy's gonna pay me $100,000 to give them custody of my kid, then I'll look after him for a couple months while they're in Italy.
How much do you think your dad would sell you for?
I don't think my dad would sell me.
Okay, but hypothetically, if he was, how much do you think?
genuinely-
What's an acceptable number for you?
What
If
would
your
I...
dad was going to sell you,
It's...
how much?
I genuinely don't think my dad would ever sell me.
Yes,
what
but-
I would be okay with, it would have to be several million.
Wow, you think you're worth several million?
I think to my dad, I hope that I'm worth that much, yeah.
Okay, let's be realistic. Hypothetically speaking, how much? How much?
What do you mean, how much?
If your dad was going to sell you, how much?
I don't think my dad would sell me.
Yeah, yes, that's why it's hypothetical. How much do you think he would sell you for?
That's what several million. I don't think he would sell me, and if he did, it would have to be a lot of money. Probably
Okay.
more than several million.
Okay. I think my dad might sell me for like 100K.
That's
Yeah, 100K.
kind of sad.
I think he'd be happy with 100K.
I'm sorry, dude.
No. It's not sad. It's a hypothetical. You know, it's going back to the cliche of like, oh, father doesn't want to be around his son's life, and then by the end he wants to be in his life. There was it was building. This is when it built up, because I the moment I teared up was during the fight scene where Charlie's shadow boxing,
Yeah.
and it just slows down and cuts all the it dims the sound out, and it's just a
Music.
shot
Yeah.
of Max and Bailey looking at Charlie,
Yeah.
and you just see Charlie doing the shadow boxing, and you can tell that they're both proud of Charlie.
and the whole movie builds to that moment in such a beautiful way because Charlie's backstory is that he used to be a pretty good boxer, but got the shit beaten out of him and didn't fight anymore. And basically, boxing got taken over by robot boxing because, frankly, yeah, if there was robot boxing,
That is what would happen.
I would want to watch that way more than human boxing. I don't care about the humans anymore. They're robots. So the robots took over the entire sport, basically. And now boxing is sort of going into the past because you have all these robots doing it now. So not only is that moment the culmination of the story arc with Charlie and Max, they're bonding together. It's this culmination of the three of them, or the two of them, and Adam, the robot itself, who is kind of sentient, it seems.
I wonder that. There's the scene when he's left in the changing room and he's looking in the mirror. And there's a shot, because obviously expressionless, but the shot just made me think, oh, does he have a comprehension that
Yeah.
he's real?
Earlier in the movie, when Max takes Adam out just for a run right after they've fixed him up, and he has him pick him up, and he says, "Can you hear me?" And Adam kind of nods, and the kid says, "Oh, your secret's safe with me," which is then they call back to later on. So I think the robot's alive. What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
But
is cute.
it's the culmination of that, of those three, of Evangeline Lilly and Charlie. And it's also literally the human taking back the art of boxing from the robots because
Yeah.
because Adam is using Charlie's movements, Charlie's human skill. So it's like it's beautiful. It all ties together.
And obviously how the sport has sort of become esports meets boxing, where you've got a bunch of gamers controlling the robots. And Charlie's the only one who's an actual boxer.
Yeah.
The rest are just pressing buttons and just hoping for the best.
Yeah.
They have no idea of the craft, the technique that's required. It's the robot that takes all of the punches.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that moment. But it was before that when I think it's two scenes. It starts 2 scenes before, which is when what was the aunt's name? Caroline.
I don't know. Who cares?
Who cares? When the aunt's coming back to get Max.
Yeah.
And Max says, "All I've ever wanted you to do is fight for me."
Yeah.
And then you have the scene when Charlie shows up at their house. And he's like, "This is me fighting." It's like, oh, and then he leads up to the fight. I was like, oh my God,
Yeah.
you got me. You got me. That's the script, the editing, the flow of the story works perfectly. It works it's Sean. That made me question. Maybe it's a disservice calling Sean Levy like he just does,
I think he is.
standard work.
Yeah.
I think he's actually masterful at the thing that he does do.
I think he's a really, really great director. It's just that he chooses to use that to make things with incredible mass appeal. Which, fair enough. Make that fucking money, Sean.
Yeah.
I kind of want to see what he could do with like a non-mass appeal real movie. There was this one movie that he did that I didn't even realize he directed until I looked up his filmography. This Is Where I Leave You, which was this family drama that came out in like 2014 with Jason Bateman, Tina Fey, Catherine Hahn's in it, Adam Driver's in it. But basically, it's this big family, and their dad or one of the heads of the family died. And so all these people who haven't seen each other in ages come together for the mourning and for the funeral. And it's just family drama. There's no action, sci-fi stakes or anything like that. It's just real. And it was a really good movie. So when Sean Levy, I think he is really, really good. And he clearly understands actors so well. Because he always gets good, heartful performances that aren't just right down center aisle.
Fuck me, this is a fantastic cast.
Yeah. Great cast.
Corey Stoll.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a good-ass movie.
I need to check it out.
I would suggest, yeah, it's absolutely worth a watch. This movie, I remember when I was talking about earlier, when he sells his kid, and he's getting ready to pick up his kid to take him on the road. If this was a lesser movie, he would have kept the fact that he sold his kid a secret, and then they would have bonded. But then, to however many months later, the kid would have realized, wait a minute, you only took me along because my uncle's paying you $100K. And it would be this whole fucking fallout. It's an idiot plot where the whole thing could be resolved by a single conversation. I was dreading that was going to happen.
Wait, had you not seen this before?
I have, but I didn't remember much of it. I remember the robot boxing. I didn't remember the details.
Okay.
I was fucking terrified, so worried that it was going to be this awful idiot plot. But no, they get rid of that right away. The kid clocks on. The kid's not an idiot. He's
That's
smart.
when I knew I'm gonna love this kid.
Right?
But it's those little things where it sort of goes, your mind just goes, oh wait, this is different.
Yeah.
Your mind just goes, this is different. It's you expect this movie to be one thing, but then he just does this little thing that just goes, this is different. That's been done before. This is different. And it was in that scene where he does something that you probably noticed it when they first meet Charlie and Max, and it's sort of shot where there's a camera on Charlie, there's a camera on Max, but it's in distance.
They're far apart from each other.
They're far apart from each other. And the thing that I loved about that is that in that moment, you've got the physical distance in their relationship between the two characters. And it visualizes that for you. Like, these two are far apart. And then it was the moment when Charlie saves Max, which was the first time they embraced.
Yes, the first time they're vulnerable with each other. Because Max is basically a carbon copy of his dad.
Yeah.
He's cocky, he's brash, he keeps his walls up. But then he's hanging over this industrial abyss, which I don't know why the fuck that's there. There's so many OSHA violations. Where do you
I don't even know where they are.
No, where do you find a massive fucking abyss in the middle of a junkyard? Anyway. But yeah, Charlie's trying to lift him up, and he says, give me your hand, and his walls fall at that point.
Yeah.
And you can tell that is the first time they are vulnerable with each other, and
I love that moment.
yeah.
I love that moment.
And that's part of their relationship throughout it, because when I'll keep your secret safe with me, that callback at the end, you would think that's the moment where Hugh Jackman says, I love you, son, or whatever, right at the end. But he doesn't say it out loud, because these two don't need to say that.
No.
They know.
Yeah.
They've seen through the walls, and they know why they keep them up, and a little part of them is in each other's walls.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good.
Now that I think of it, you don't need a sequel. Because whatever sequel you do, it would sort of be that their relationship isn't as good as what you think it's going to be by the end of this film.
Yeah.
And that'll probably, because it wouldn't be interesting if, oh yeah, they're all great, and so what's the sequel? They're just going around, now they got a new robot, and it's the best robot.
You'd have to keep Adam. Adam is one of the main characters of the movie.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Actually, speaking of Adam,
Yeah.
I really love the robot fights in this.
The CGI in this movie is fantastic. It's like that old school Transformers where they put the time and effort into the pre-production so that it looks fantastic when it all comes together, as opposed to assembly pipeline movie making that various studios do these days, which results in less than stellar CGI because they're farming it out to businesses in Asia and underpaying them and overworking all the effects artists. CGI used to be great. This movie, it's great. They feel so real. The robot fights, it's just cool.
So I was wondering why the robot fights are as good as they are.
Yeah.
And when I was looking at the credits, they used motion capture performers for the fights, which involved real boxes.
Yeah.
And I was like, perfect. Because the way they were moving, especially Adam, because he's the smallest robot out of all the other robots that we meet. But it's the way he moves, especially the boxing. speaking of the boxing moves, there was. She's not a boxer. I get it, but how do you say Evangeline Lilly?
Yeah.
There's the scene when she's talking to Max, and she just do these boxing moves, and I was like, the technique is awful. Now, granted, she's not a boxer, but her dad taught boxers, so I was just like, why is your technique so bad? But that's a nitpick.
She's not really trying to be flawless.
Yes, I know that, but I was just like,
but sure.
Yeah. But it was just like, it just got into me. Like, maybe you should have practiced with you whilst, in pre-production. Just like, get to a few classes with them.
Yeah.
But it was the fights and the climax between Adam and Zeus. Which is sort of like, I called him the triple B. Mm-hmm. Big black bot.
Sure.
Because he's big, he's black, and he's a bot. And he looks terrifying.
He's fucking awesome. He's massive. Oh god.
He's fucking terrifying.
He's like a fucking Megatron.
Yeah, he is. And I knew, I thought, as it was going towards the end, I thought, okay, there's different ways you can go about this. You can do the way where Adam wins, or Zeus loses. Either way.
Yeah.
But the way they did it were Adam, not technically. Zeus technically wins the fight by a decision.
Yeah.
But in terms of the quality and what they were doing, Adam won.
The crowd loves Adam. The kid says, I think I can settle for People's Champion.
And I'll take that. I take that.
Because I'll be honest, it would be a big stretch, even for this movie, for a shitty 10-year-old sparring robot to beat the most expensive, highly advanced fighting robot in the world.
I mean, that's what happens in real life, where the underdog really doesn't win. And the favorite gets the decision if it comes down to the decision.
Because frankly, if you're fighting someone twice your size, it's going to be difficult to beat him.
And
Some people are just beasts.
But when did Transformers come out?
The
first
Transformers 1.
Oh, maybe, no, 2007.
Oh, 7.
So when did the second one come out?
Transformers 2. 2009, Revenge of the Fallen.
Okay, because I feel like the Transformers, the CGI of the robots, has somehow gotten worse.
It's gone down over time.
Which is quite interesting.
The Bay ones, even Age of Extinction, they all look pretty solid. And I think it's part of Michael Bay's production thing, because I haven't seen Bumblebee, but I saw that bit of Rise of the Beasts, and they just don't look real.
Rise of the Beasts.
It doesn't look like they're there.
Don't make beasts. Don't make beasts. Well, I don't need the animals. I don't need the animals.
I love the animal ones.
No, I don't need the animals. Leave them out of it.
You never watched Beast Wars as a kid?
No.
Is that not?
No.
No?
No. But speaking of cartoons, did you ever watch Beyblade?
I've seen one of the Beyblade series, maybe not the original.
Because it reminded me of this.
Yeah?
Just competition, two guys, and they just have to, they in the ring, and it's sort of like Pokemon, I guess,
I'll tell you from experience, Beyblade is more fun than Pokemon.
Oh no, Beyblade was fun. Beyblade was fun. Pokemon, I watched as a kid, getting ready to go to school. Yeah. Especially the first years when I moved here, it was on. It was Pokemon and Galaxy Football Galaxy. They would always come on back to back. Mm-hmm. And I would always watch them when I was getting ready to go to school. Oh, I loved it. Oh, simpler times. Yeah. Simpler times. Oh, Obama was just president.
Yeah.
Ah.
Beautiful.
Ah.
So we would have been watching Pokemon at the same time.
No. How old were you?
I was watching Pokemon when I was 8.
8?
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been the same time. It would have been the same time, yeah.
So we saw the same. They're in the Sinnoh region. There's Team Galactic. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Do you remember Dawn? Was it Dawn or May, the girl sidekick?
Oh, fuck.
Dawn was the one with the white hat and the beanie.
If I saw her, I would be able to recognize.
Sure.
But I don't think names. I have not seen Pokemon in years.
Dawn. Here she is.
Yes, it was that one.
Yep.
It was that one.
Yep. Same time. It was good back then. It was good. Did you ever play Beyblade in real life?
No. Oh. No.
It's so rad.
No, never got Beyblade. My parents wouldn't allow me to have anything fun because they would always go, "What are you gonna learn from it?" And I had no answer to it. I asked for an Xbox.
Yeah.
They're like, "What's an Xbox going to teach you?" And I was like,
Hand-eye coordination?
I don't know. I never got one, and I always asked it. And my dad would always, he played me.
Yeah.
Played me every single year because I was about to say in Africa, but I don't know if it happens all over the place. In Zimbabwe, what they do in primary school, every single year you have tests at the end of the year.
Yeah.
And the first couple of years, I didn't do very well. So my mom took the route of, she's going to tutor me, and that's where the discipline even more came in.
Okay.
And my dad took it as, well, if you do well, I'm going to get you that PlayStation.
Okay.
And that was, so I'll do the tutoring.
Yeah.
Like, I'll go through it. The beatings, I'll do it. Whatever. And then at the end of the year, I'd come back, show it to him. Did I get the PlayStation? Nope. No.
You were never getting that PlayStation.
No. And he did it again. And I believed.
God.
No. Didn't get it. Again. Believed. No. And it was probably the fifth time when I realized that this is a dead end. But fathers, huh?
Yeah.
Fathers. You know what? A lot of fathers are like Charlie's. And I think a lot of sons are like Max's. We just want our dads to fight for us. And throughout the film, when they go through the trip, the concept of time in films is always interesting to me. Because I don't know where the beginning, where I don't know what the aunt is called, and
Doesn't matter.
her and her fucking husband go off to Italy, and by the time August comes, because she said August.
I think like 2 months.
Okay, so that's 2 months. So in the space of 2 months, they traveled around America, did a bunch of fights, got to the point where they were nationally recognized, and got a league fight. In 2 months. That's all it takes.
I don't know the ins and outs of the robot boxing industry, but
You don't?
no.
You don't? But you're called Max too.
I wanted to point that out, is that this movie is about a kid named Max who's 11 years old. This movie came out in 2011.
I honestly thought that's why you picked this
I
one.
was born in 2000. I forgot that the kid was named Max. I completely forgot about that. I only remembered I liked that movie when I saw it in the theaters as an 11-year-old kid named Max. I liked
Yeah,
that movie.
did you connect with the kid? Did you go like, I am that kid?
I-
Did you somehow superimpose yourself on the kid?
I definitely liked his attitude, and I in some ways have a similar attitude, I think.
Interesting, huh?
Mostly I just like the robots more than anything, I'll be honest.
You know what's funny? The thing about the film is that I appreciate the robot fighting.
Yeah.
But that's not why I love the film.
Sure.
It's not the thing that got me. It was like a dessert. It was like, yeah, that's something for you. But the real story, the father-son story arc, that's what really got me. And I was like, yeah, that's well done. But when they were going back to them traveling across the country, because teaching Adam how to fight, they make a deal. Charlie's gonna teach Adam how to fight because Adam has this shadow system where he'll shadow whoever he's looking at.
He'll mimic
Which
movements.
I don't actually understand how Adam chooses which person he's looking at and to shadow. Because when
Yeah.
he's in a crowd, how is he not just shadowing
I think
the
when
person next to Charlie?
I think because right at the end when Charlie kicks in the shadow boxing mode to win the fight against Zeus or to last the fight against Zeus, he sort of sinks in with Adam. Does the whole "you eyes on me," and I think so they sort of sink in like that. But then also there's the moments where the robot picks up Max or does certain things or certain dance moves, but not all of them. So I think, first of all, I think the movie isn't really focused on the ins and outs of exactly how these fighting robots
Yeah,
work.
it's clearly not.
But you could also say that, well, Adam is somewhat sentient, so maybe he can choose, maybe he knows how to, read the moment.
But it was the scene where Max is teaching Adam how to dance.
Yeah.
That was really cute.
It's a fun scene.
That was really cute. And the point that Charlie makes about how Prince Azim had a thing, Muhammad Ali had a thing, and when you see it in real time, when they go into the stadium and he's dancing and the crowd is hyped up, I was like, yeah, I would be hyped up too.
Yeah.
If you see a kid walking out with a robot and they're dancing, you're like, yes,
This is
yes,
great. You want that kid to win.
yes. I mean, part of me wanted him to lose to see him cry.
Sure, that's why everyone's there. But when
Yeah.
he does win, then you just feel better about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a kid. Let him win.
Yeah.
Let him win. But it was that relationship between Adam, Charlie, Max, the three of them, the three hombres.
Yeah.
It's really well done. It's really well done. I respected that from the film, which I didn't expect. I didn't expect to care about the robot.
Yeah, I didn't go back into this expecting. I was worried you weren't gonna like it after the last few because
Well, this isn't Steel,
no,
and
this
it's
isn't
done by a way better director.
Sure,
It's a better script,
sure.
better film overall.
Well, let's not get too harsh on the masterpiece of average cinema that is Steel, but
Average? You think it's average?
I think it's slightly below average.
I'm not getting into this. I'm not getting into this. You're not dragging me into this. You're not dragging me into this.
As a TV movie, it's great. Steel. This movie is definitely much better. I wrote the least amount of notes for this movie that I've written for any. This is all the notes I have. Because I was just watching it. I was just like, I don't have a whole lot to comment on right now. It's just this movie is working on me.
No, the only notes I made, because I'm always involved in the story. When something is done, I think, oh, that's cool. Or something that's done that pisses me off. And the technical aspects, since we've started this, I've been really getting into the technical aspects as well. And really appreciating them, especially when I notice them. Because it's just the effect and trying to understand what the filmmaker's doing in that moment and how the moment sort of plays on you as an audience member. I don't know what the editor of this film is. Because there's one thing the editor does.
Edited by Dean Zimmerman. By the way, also music by Danny Elfman, which is why the music goes so hard.
I'm gonna get into the music, but I'm trying to find.
Yeah, Dean Zimmerman. Previously edited Night at the Museum 2 with Sean Levy. Punisher, Warzone, Jumper, Rush Hour 3. Watch, The Internship, more Sean Levy stuff. This Is Where I Leave You, Night at the Museum 3. Free Guy, Adam Project, Deadpool, Wolverine, All the Light We Cannot See, which apparently Sean Levy made. It's a show. I have not seen this. What were you saying?
The thing I hate,
Yeah?
and I cannot blame them, but when I notice it, I hate it. There's the scene where Charlie and Max are in the alleyway,
Yeah.
and Charlie's trying to leave, and Max is trying to tag along onto the trip.
Uh-huh.
But it's the shots where you see Max and it pivots back to Charlie.
Mm-hmm.
But when it's on Max, the position that Charlie's in, it's different than the position that when it's on Charlie. It's a different position.
Yeah.
And it's a pet peeve of mine that when I notice it, it happens a lot. And I understand that you're taking the best shot of the scene for the actor, but I hate it because it tells me that that's a different shot. And I know it's a different shot,
Yeah.
but I don't want to know it's a different shot.
Yeah.
I want to be under the illusion that this was one seamless fucking show. You didn't have to do anything. But that's a pet peeve of mine. I'll get over it.
Sure.
The music.
Music fucking rocks.
The music. Now, I said it opens with country music.
Yeah. Great song.
It's a great song. The song is actually All of My Days by Alexei Murdoch.
Okay.
And I had to add it to my playlist. But the soundtrack of the whole film, Eminem.
I fucking loved. They're pulling into their first underground fight. Is that with Noisy Boy, the first robot that he gets, the samurai looking one?
Yes.
They're pulling into that with Noisy Boy. This big underground warehouse, whatever, with the incredible infrastructure to support this robot fighting. And there's like moving winches and hooks and sliding beams all across the ceiling. So much money goes into this. This is what I'm saying. This is just a few steps away from going full Mad Max, whatever world this is. Clearly things are not okay in general if people are this into robot boxing all the time. But anyway, yeah, we hear Eminem, and we meet Anthony Mackie's character, and I love that it's
Till I Collapse.
it's like an 8 Mile callback.
I noticed that as well.
Right.
I was like, I wonder if he did as well, where
Yeah.
he just went, oh yeah, people are gonna think about 8 Mile. Yeah, and he plays a completely different. Well, I mean, you remember Anthony Mackie and 8 Mile is the guy who gets absolutely rinsed at the end,
Just destroyed.
So now you're just reminding people of that when you're watching this film, and you just go, yeah. But it was the montage scene where they're playing Roster 5'9" and Eminem, Fast Lane.
Yeah.
I love the song, but Eminem, it's just high octane. It's in your face.
Yeah.
I don't even know where the city is. It made me think, is it in Detroit?
I don't think they ever name it. I think it's farther in the south.
I don't even know.
Yeah.
Well, you assume that because at the beginning,
The beginning is definitely in the south.
the beginning is definitely in the south.
Yeah.
But they're in the city with Bailey's gym,
Yeah.
which I'm not sure where that is.
I don't think it's Detroit.
That's the thing. I don't know where it is. It just made me question, like, is this Detroit? Just because there was a few more Eminem, but
Yeah.
they probably just want Eminem because fighting Eminem, a lot of films use Eminem in the fighting film.
Let me amend what I just said. I don't think it's meant to be Detroit. However, they did film a lot in Detroit. So, there it is. Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense. Yeah, you're gonna film in Detroit, get Eminem on the soundtrack. That makes sense. But another moment I want to put up, because you mentioned Noisy Boy. There's a great shot of when Noisy Boy. I said Lazy Boy. Noisy Boy gets his ass smacked.
Just demolished.
But there's a great shot of Charlie. And it's like Noisy Boy's blood spilling out, and it's purple.
Yeah.
And it's just a shot of Charlie looking in the reflection. It's a reflection of Charlie's face in the blood, which I just liked. I was like, oh, that's pretty neat. That's a neat thing. I didn't know that was gonna be in here. But that's the thing. This film surprised me. It surprised me. I expected one thing, I got another. Some things that did happen, yes, obviously.
Sure. But it always just puts a little sauce on it.
Shosh.
A little bit of sauce.
A little bit of shosh.
There's the running thing between Max and Charlie where Charlie gets him a hamburger towards the beginning and he's like, I hate hamburgers. It's like, what kind of kid hates hamburgers? And then later on they're getting into a bit of an argument and he hands him some food and Max is like, I told you I hate hamburgers. And he tears the bag, opens and throws it at him. It's like, it's a burrito. You think that they're going to do the thing of, oh yeah, and the dad still is a bad dad, but no, he cares. They care.
What was the guy called who had the hair and when they went to like the underground, the zoo?
Oh
I think
yeah,
they called it.
I don't remember what the dude was called, but that was this insane mohawk. Looks like he's probably on meth. He's got just an anarchy tattoo. It's like real hodgepodge of various things to tell you, hey, this is a weird guy. Look at this character. He's weird and freaky, isn't he?
Because he says, I loved his line because it made me chuckle.
Yeah.
He's like, let's get it on, let's get it on, let's get it on like it's ping pong in Hong Kong. And I was like, what?
Don't think about it. It's the sounds.
But
Just
that
throw in
guy,
sounds.
I found this out. That guy wrote Flight,
What?
which came out a year after this.
Huh. What a wild jump from playing this to...
That's an Academy Award nominated
That's a good movie. It's a very dramatic movie.
screenwriter right there.
Wow. Good for him.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've got it out of my system now.
Nice.
I've got it out of my system. Anything else you want to add?
Not a whole lot else. Like, yeah, I didn't write many notes for this movie at all. They get rid of the idiot plot. Apparently,
The idiot plot.
the whole setup for a misunderstanding between them that causes conflict in the third.
Oh yeah.
That's an idiot plot. They get rid of that. They get it out of the way immediately, which I was so happy with. Apparently, in this world, robot boxing is already like an international sport by 2016. I'm pretty sure this movie takes place in like 2025, in the 2020s.
And we don't have any robot boxing that we know of.
Why can't, instead of trying to install fascism all over the place, why can't Elon Musk focus on making robot boxing?
I think we'll get it.
I hope so.
We'll get both.
Did you
We'll
ever-
get the fascism and the robot boxing.
That's not. But that means the robots are going to be used against us.
Listen, man, I'm looking at the way shit is right now, and I'm like, maybe I need to think about leaving, yo.
Yeah.
The way people are moving against migrants all over the place. Look did you see what's happening in Northern Ireland? Well, I'm not getting into politics right now. I'll get it after the podcast.
Yeah.
But fascism and boxing robots.
Robot boxing.
It's all on the menu, baby. It's all on the menu. And AI girlfriends.
Oh God.
Speaking of AI girlfriends, maybe. I'll say it.
Okay.
I'll save it. I'll save it.
Okay. Not a whole lot else to say about this movie. Did you ever watch BattleBots?
I don't think so.
Or whatever the equivalent was here? Maybe it was BattleBots. I love those shows. The robot fighting shows. It's not boxing, but it's still some cool shit.
No.
People build their own little robots, stick them in an arena.
No, I never saw this.
Last one standing wins. It's great.
9 seasons.
Yeah.
Wow. No, I think it came on in 2000. No, I think I was busy watching Fear Factor.
Damn.
Yeah, watching people eat donkey dick.
Yeah, I was never into that one.
It was funny. Because people were eating donkey dick. People would do anything for money, yeah.
Yeah. I just like the robot fights. I don't need to see people eating bugs and shit.
One guy drank semen, yeah.
That's...
Definitely
I don't-
bleep this part
I don't
out.
think any of this is going in. No. So wait, you're okay watching that happen, but when Tom Green masturbates a horse, that's too much for you?
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah,
Interesting line.
yeah, yeah.
Huh.
They're doing it for money. Why is Tom Green doing it? Just
To make
just
a
so
sta-
I
to
can
make a-
suffer?
To make a statement.
No, to make me suffer. Listen, I've checked.
That's fucked
Listen, I
up.
think I'm gonna change my mind on Freddy Got Fingered. I'm gonna watch it again, definitely with a different mindset,
Sure.
and watch it when I'm in a mood where I'm not, tired or anything
Yeah.
like that. And I'm probably gonna enjoy it because I always do.
Maybe.
I love old films.
Yeah.
I don't like shit. Even Steel. I think I'll love Steel. This no, I don't think.
I think you
so.
need to give Steel another chance.
No,
too.
no. Because Steel, it's much bigger than just a film. It's what it stands for me. It's what it stands for. But for most films, Law. I love Law. The second time I watched it, I was really into that film. I love it. It's one of my favorite films.
That is insane.
One of my favorite films. I think so far this year, I must have seen I think over 50 films.
Sure.
Over 50 so far. That's the minimum number. And
Yeah.
Law is one of my favorites that I've seen.
That's wild.
And I've seen some fantastic films.
That's wild.
I've seen some fantastic films.
Yeah.
But because I don't even want to talk about it now because it's gonna be one of our picks. I will get into it.
will be at some point.
I'll tell you why I love it.
I'm I'll look forward to studying it, analyzing how that movie does what it does. Because I still can't describe entirely what it does.
When we do it,
Yeah.
you have to. Do you have any access to any teenage girls?
No.
Okay, you need to talk to a teenage girl.
Yeah.
Ask them what their life is like. Okay? Don't judge. Just ask them what their life is like. All right?
Okay.
In preparation for Law. Because I'm telling you, they will tell you exactly what happens in Law. Because you think it's convoluted, it's nonsense.
It's not even about what the subject matter is. It's how it's all presented. That is done. And I'll believe that people are living lives similar to that. What happens in Law. To me, what is astounding about it is the way the movie is made.
Okay, is Law a comedy?
I think it's supposed to be.
I don't think so.
What do you think it is?
I think it's a French film that's meant to highlight what teenage girls experience. It's a teenage girl life experience, yeah. But we'll get into it. We'll get into it. We'll get into it.
It's a whole own episode.
It's a whole episode to get into it.
Yeah.
But if we're done there, I think I can reveal what the next pick is going to be.
So you said AI girlfriends before. Is that?
See, AI Girlfriends made me think of a particular film, but no.
Okay.
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. Not yet. What I'm actually going to pick is, let me just look up the full title because I'm going to butcher the full title.
Okay.
Found it. Jaeger. Pacific Rim.
Fuck yeah! I was hoping you would say that.
Uprising.
Oh no.
No, I'm joking. Pacific Rim. the
Thank
first
God.
one. The first one. The first
Sent
one.
me on a roller coaster of emotions there.
first one.
I was thinking while watching this movie, Pacific Rim would be a really good follow-up to this.
Yeah.
Because it's about punching robots.
Yeah.
And I didn't know if, but you did.
Yeah.
And then you almost pulled it away from me with Uprising.
Yeah.
You don't.
No, I can't do
you
Uprising.
don't want to watch Uprising.
I'm never gonna watch Uprising.
You really don't.
Never
wanna watch
never
it.
gonna watch it. I'm not even gonna get into why I'm never gonna watch it. But yes, Pacific Rim is the
yes.
next pick.
Fuck yes, man.
Anyway, that's it for this week. Highly recommend Real Steel. If you have seen it, let us know. I don't. I look at the analytics.
You want to look at the analytics?
No, I look at them.
Yeah.
I look at them.
Yeah.
Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes I'll check it out. like once a week minimum.
Sure.
Like, subscribe, listen to us on Spotify, YouTube. Comment if you've seen any of the films. If you haven't seen the films, definitely check out the films.
Yeah, do that.
We have a wide range. Like, we were in the fucking 60s, and somehow we ended up when Freddy got fingered.
Yeah, we really took a dive there for a few weeks.
Maybe we might go back to the 60s.
Maybe.
We haven't touched on the 90s that much. Magnolia was the first one. We haven't really touched... I feel like the 90s is the best decade.
Magnolia, Face Off. There's a lot more 90s to do.
Yeah, there's a lot more. We haven't even touched Star Wars, Indiana Jones,
Yeah, I've thought about
like the
doing a Star
big
Wars for
ones,
this.
Back to the Future.
At some point, we'll do Jurassic Park, which I believe is the best movie ever made.
No, you mean Jurassic World. Yes.
At some point, we'll do Jurassic Park, which I believe is the best movie ever made.
Jurassic World. But yes, we will hit all the films. But
Yeah.
definitely check out the films. Let us know what you think. Am I going to check it? Probably not. What the fuck? Oh, no, sorry. I'm looking at something else. I'm looking at something else. Completely sidetracked me.
Okay.
But, yeah, I don't know how much of this episode Max is going to keep in. Because we...
Probably get rid of most of the first 20 minutes and then here and there, you know.
But it was, I personally feel it was an enlightened conversation the first 20 minutes.
It was. It's not totally on topic for this show.
No.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Check us out next time. Peace.